Welcome to the Look at Me Show. It is Thursday. I'm Pete Donaldson, joined by Mr. Lucky Mo. Lucky Mo, how the devil are you doing? Bonjour.
I'm good, thanks. Got a baseball cap on today because the hair needs a haircut big time.
It's a little trucker cap. Do you remember? Is it Von Dutch? Do you remember Von Dutch clothing of the late 90s? That was very big. Did you ever flirt with that? Did you ever fuck with VD?
No. I mean, there's several ways to answer that question, aren't there? I didn't have a Von Dutch cap, I don't think, but I did want one. And they were big. In my memory, they were big around 2000.
Yeah, I sort of get the sense that the coolest kids, the coolest guys, the skate boys, the trucker men, they all had Von Dutch caps, and I was like, I wouldn't even know where to find these Von Dutch.
Did you know many trucker men in the 2000s, Pete?
Yeah, I trucked a little bit, bit. As I said, you know, when I got my little steering wheel and I drove some fertilizer to Birmingham, that was just me picking up a long, deep love with the trucking lifestyle.
Why don't I remember that?
Yeah. Well, I remember somebody set us a steering wheel for my computer. Like the video game side of my computer.
Oh, yeah.
Let's make it very clear. Computers do not require steering wheels. If someone sells you one in the Halfords car park, your car does need a steering wheel, but your computer does not need a steering wheel. But I drove some. I played Euro Truck Simulator 2 and drove some fertilizer to Birmingham, and I had a bloody good time doing it, quite frankly. But I used to truck back in the day.
Why did you choose fertilizer as a cargo?
You don't get to choose. Do you think that? Do you think the bloke who's delivering much needed migrants to the UK? Do you think he gets to choose? He thinks he's delivering pineapples, and you know, bathroom sealant, and he doesn't get to choose any of that, does he?
Speaking of bathroom sealant, by the way, I need to use some sealant around the floors and skirting board in my living room because the snails keep getting in.
The snails keep getting in. How big are the holes that snails are getting in?
I thought it's just absolutely, they're tiny snails, but it's not a pest I ever considered.
No, they're rare. There was one that climbed up my wall a few weeks ago. We get a lot of snails in the garden, but they've yet to breach home base. That's amazing. Is your son absolutely delighted by that fact, though? Because they
I think they can be quite toxic and dangerous to humans, right? Particularly kids.
It's that boy who popped a slug in his mouth and died.
Yeah,
massive toxicity.
Yeah.
I mean, and nowadays, if you're in America, you pop the snail's food, lettuce, in your mouth, and you shit yourself inside out with the old cyclosporiasis.
A lot of people use snail mucus derived face cream, don't they?
That's right. Yes, big in Korea, I believe. But how are you sort of choosing to get rid of these? Snails
it's still very much a work in progress.
Right. Because you've got cats, haven't you? So you can't put poison down.
Yeah, that's the thing. The cats don't really know what to make of the snails. The cats don't know what to make of them. So, like, with mice or with like flies, they'll try and catch flies. They'll try and chase away bugs. But snails, don't know what they're doing, and so it's a bit of a new challenge for all of us, really. I keep having to wipe away their trails from the fucking floorboards, the floors, and the rug. Yeah. And so we're going to work it out. So the best thing to do, apparently, is to seal up the gaps. Now, the gaps aren't that big, but the snails are pretty small. So ultimately, it's a challenge to be met. It's a problem to be solved. But the father-in-law, the great LC's coming over on Friday, and he loves the job. He loves the task.
Is he going to bring some American level sort of pesticides?
He's going to bring some predators.
He can't get the good stuff. Yeah,
he's going to put some predators in his pocket.
I'm trying to think what eats slugs. Monkeys eat snails, I think. They have a good go at the old the centipede.
Monkeys will eat anything, won't they? That's the thing. They love to get pissed as well.
They do love to get pissed.
I read a really interesting thing earlier about how it was a real deep dive internet moment where sometimes I say things that give you kind of insight into my terrible psyche. I woke up yesterday morning thinking, why haven't animals ever evolved green fur? Right.
Okay.
So like a deer.
What do you mean? As in to blend into the grass?
Or a predator to blend into the jungle. Right?
Yeah. Like a ghillie suit. Like a little
exactly.
Ghillie suit, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Now that doesn't happen, right?
Is it like the chlorophyll or something? Is it kind of like
I'll tell you what it is.
A colour that's exclusively unable to be created?
It's yet another fascinating fact of evolution. So the reason tigers, and I drilled down to tigers for some reason, I think that's just where the internet took me, but the reason tigers haven't evolved green fur, because if you think about it, I was thinking they're orange and black, right? But green and black would surely be better for camouflage purposes when they're hunting.
Yeah,
right?
Or at least because like there's a lot of animals that are sort of straw coloured. I was going to say out of me and you, which kind of
I'm more straw coloured.
Who's closest? You're closest to green, I would say. So you could probably get there, I think, with a bit.
Well,
with
you
a
are
bit
sometimes
of moss,
in the mornings after another one of those Chinese meals,
like an old secular Chinese meal, like the sloths. They get a bit of moss on them growing sometimes, don't they? They go green.
I didn't know that.
That's not natural.
Okay, so basically the reason tigers do not evolve green fur to hunt predators because they don't need to, because their prey, which are obviously smaller, mammals really, don't have eyesight, haven't evolved eyesight, which can distinguish between orange and green.
Of course.
So basically, if you take away the particular filter of, say, a deer's eyes and look at it like a human's eyes, orange and green look the same. So if you basically look at a tiger against a jungle background, as a human, you can see it stands out, but a deer can't see it, right? And then I was thinking, why haven't deer evolved
to see it?
Yeah, because the better ones, I mean, the way it would work would be like natural selection would say that, the ones that could see better would thrive more, therefore the eyesight would keep getting better. And the reason for that is even more fascinating. The reason for that is because in the part of the world I was looking at, I forget which it is now, it might be India somewhere, the deer have evolved to follow troops of monkeys around. Because the troops of monkeys do special calls when there's a tiger coming and the deer can hear it. And so as long as they stay within like 25 meters of a troop of monkeys, they'll know when the tiger's coming because the monkeys tell them. Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing. That's like the parts of a complex jellyfish sort of living together as, a few organisms connected to each other that mutually benefit each other by staying close.
I just amazing. Think it's, what a fascinating thing.
Well, I think we should be able to, if we've got these animals in captivity for whatever reason, studying them or whatever, or helping them to
or making a DVD about them in your case,
or making a CD-ROM about them. That's correct.
CD-ROM. Sorry.
I think you should sort of, it's 580 megabytes, something like that. It's like DVDs, you're talking 4 gigs. I mean, come on.
Yeah, DVD also makes it more
I would have
recent.
loved that space. Yeah, it does make it.
Well, you'd have loved that space for the movie you didn't make.
I would have loved that space for that. I'd love that space for that, man. But I would say that, do you not think that if we are taking these people taking these animals out of captivity and releasing them into the wild, we should at least meet them halfway and give them contact lenses? We should put little contact lenses on the animals so that they can distinguish predators easier.
I agree with that. I think we should take 200 deer, give 100 of them contact lenses, and 100 of them not contact lenses as a control.
Oakleys.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, and see which ones.
Daddy Oakleys.
But they can have the little things that stick them to the head, the little kind of holders.
Yeah, exactly.
And then see how long they last, which ones last the longest.
Yeah.
The contact lenses you have to take out, don't you, and clean them, and they've got hooves, so they wouldn't be able to do that.
No, I think finding saline solution would be quite difficult around the. I don't know where they live. I don't know where this strange animal that we're talking about
near the coast. Near the coast, they could.
Near the coast, I guess.
Speaking of that as well, I saw a video the other day of a guy, one of these types, who was like, "Oh, my gran used to do this every week," and he took a saucepan, and I guess he lived by the sea. He took a saucepan, went to the sea,
smashed it with his own head.
Filled the saucepan up with seawater, boiled it on his stove until all the salt was left, and was like, "There you go, free salt." And then this guy came on the comments and went, "Yeah, don't do that. This is full of absolute shit. Do not do that. You are probably seasoning your food with human shit, so don't do that." And a bit of salt.
Yeah, I was sort of reading up on your favourite subject, Thames Water and stuff, and how the half privatised system in Wales is compared to the English version and the Scottish version, and the level of, I think 14%, of our rivers don't have shit in it. And in Scotland, it's something like 63% because they're owned by the state, the Scottish state, if you will. And you're like, yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it? That does sound about right. I'm glad I've got a hose pipe ban. I can't even clean my dirty bin. I got maggots in my bin. I can't clean my. I'm gonna have to use a kettle to murder all the maggots, which is more viscerally upsetting for me.
I had a little rant at the Thames Water guy who called me the other day.
Right.
And I prefaced it by saying, I know it's not your fault.
I know it's not your fault, and you could not know how deep my hatred of your company can go. But I said, no, I didn't say that, but I did say, I know it's not your fault, but you called me. So I'm going to tell you.
I'm entitled to respond. He said, "Hello, Mr. Morse. Just a courtesy call to let you know that as of so and so date, you will no longer be able to use your hose pipe." They're
ringing everybody. They're ringing everybody. What a fucking waste.
Yeah, I said, and he said, "I'll just let you know before we continue this conversation. It is going to be recorded for training purposes." And I went, "Good."
Yeah,
I'm very pleased to hear
words,
that because
some creative sexual swear words.
You will not be telling me what to do with my water until you do something about the 100 million litres of water you're losing a day through leaks and poor maintenance of the water system. I think you're a bunch of... And I did use one F word. I said you're a bunch of fucking robber barons, and there's no way I'm doing anything you tell me. And if you want to send someone round, you can, and I'll tell them as well. And he was like,
right,
okay, thanks very much for your call. Sorry, thanks very much for your time. He was basically very much a kind of, I've got to do 50 a day of these. I can't be hanging around.
Yeah.
And it left me quite dissatisfied because he didn't. I felt like, hopefully,
dare you? What would be the perfect reaction that you would have required from him? How dare you? We do our best.
Well, that's the problem with that.
I have children.
Yeah, I don't think it through, do I? So I don't know. I was always on send, not on receive, and it's my fault for being a dickhead. I'm a sick then.
All right, okay, all right. I'm picking up the phone. Good afternoon, Mr. Moore. Well, just giving you a courtesy call because we're currently experiencing drought in your area, and it just means that you won't be able to use your hose pipe on your big new garden that you just bought. So
you've not said it's not a very big garden, actually. You've not said. So I'm not going to say this. This call
is being recorded for training and purposes.
Training and purposes.
And purposes. Yeah.
What other purposes?
Training and other purposes. Marketing purposes.
Are you wearing a barrel?
You're going to be one of those.
Are you wearing a barrel? I'll pick up the call.
Yeah. Okay. You pick up the call.
My wife does majority of the gardening. You need to speak to her.
Yeah.
But thank you for letting me know. I won't be doing anything you've said to me to do because I don't respect you as a company. And if that sounds a lot like Pete Donaldson, and if that's Pete Donaldson, I don't respect you as an individual either. And,
right, okay. Broadcaster?
I respect you as a broadcaster.
Lover?
Do you know why? Because there's two reasons I respect you as a broadcaster. Do you want to hear them?
Why?
Longevity. And
that's undeniable. That is undeniable.
Yeah,
Who else? Not many get to, this level.
Yeah,
well,
for this long.
Not many get to this length. Yeah. Okay, good.
And also, you will not be discouraged. So indefatigability as well. You stick at it.
Okay, fine.
So I do respect you for those reasons as a broadcaster. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not doing what you say because I don't respect Thames Water and I don't respect you as an individual. And I know you've got to work. I know you've got to get a job. What are you doing? Singing?
What you tell me? Fuck you. Dun, dun. Do you think Rage Against the Machine could have had a better singer?
I'm the Zach de la Rocha of West Norwood. I do not think that. No, I think he's an absolutely outstanding fucking frontman. Amazingly charismatic. Right. He's actually a pretty good rapper as well. He's on the Run the Jewels record. Right. He does a fucking brilliant couple of verses on Centre of the Storm by Ronnie Size Represent on their record In the Mode, which is the follow-up to New Forms. He is fucking amazing on that. He does a verse in English and a verse in Spanish, and it sounds amazing.
Nice. Awesome.
It's got one of my favourite lines of any rapper in it, which is, and I won't use the language because I'm not qualified to, so I'll do a little replacement. He says...
What word are you going to use to replace it? Thames Water.
I'll just say
Thames
people
Water
instead of. I'll just say
N-
people instead of the N word.
No, say Thames Water.
Okay,
Say Thames Water instead of the N word, please. Thank you.
Fine. Okay, I will. It's going to be hard though because it's too many syllables.
It feels like a judgment call on Thames Water and by association an entire race. But I don't mean it like that. It's just a fun little game. Don't do
It's too many syllables, but I'll try. Okay. He says, superstitious Thames Water, they get played like a tarot. My baseline matter will shatter your bone marrow. It's a good line. He's a good rapper. I don't think they deserve a better frontman. I think he's a perfect frontman for them. And I think it's one of your quite marginal takes that Zach De La Rocha is not a good frontman or singer for fucking Rage Against the Machine. He's perfect.
You've been hoisted by your own petard, my Thames Water, because you have you've said that it's going to shatter your shatter your
bone marrow.
Bone marrow. How can you shatter your bone marrow?
What,
is it shatterable? It's quite greasy, isn't it? It's a greasy sort of, it's like Play-Doh, isn't it? Maybe
I guess you shatter bones, but you wouldn't shatter the marrow within.
You'd shatter the, you wouldn't shatter the bone marrow.
I've got a mate. My mate Razor. He is one of those people.
Liverpool centre back.
No. Razor, not Razor Ruddock. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Razor Ruddock does do this as well. When you go for a meal with him, right? Say you go KFC or Nando's. He's one of those guys who takes every single last bit of meat off the bone and he sucks the bone marrow out of the chicken bones.
What, he sucks it out of the chicken bones? You're not getting much marrow out of the chicken bones, are you?
No.
No.
For me, that's disgusting.
How are you getting into the top? And I speak as somebody who watched somebody demonstrating how to do a full knee replacement. Very complicated. You've got to be very precise with the rods and the
Rick Edwards had
chopping
one of those.
off of the top of them. Has he really?
Absolute game changer.
Apparently it's amazing. Yeah, brilliant. I guess he's quite tall, isn't he? That's gonna. How are your knees? How are your knees and your joints? They're bad. Do they scream? Do you use Feldine gel? Do you use the ibuprofen gel? The Ibuleve of this world?
I don't. Should I use that? Do you think?
I think I always use a bit because that absolute tit went through the back of me like this time last year, and I basically had a year of being able to play football for about 25 minutes before
Were you wearing
moccasins? Like my foot. I wasn't wearing moccasins or bottomans, but it's annoying because I'm shit at football, and it's like, mate, you didn't need to do that. I wasn't going to do anything.
Did you say that? I hope you said that at the time.
I was like, oh, Christ, that hurts, and it just feels like my.
So Pete, if it was back in the day when I was playing on your team, I could have got him for you, couldn't I?
You could have hatcheted him, but my team doesn't respect or like me. But yeah, so I get 25 minutes before it feels like the top of my ankle is kind of just opening up, and it's very uncomfortable. But if I have the foresight to kind of rub, because it takes a while, the old Ibuleve, the old ibuprofen gel.
I've never used it.
It takes like 2 or 3 sort of days to get to its full, or a couple of days to get to its full kind of.
Does it really last that long?
No, but I think it just takes a long time to absorb or something like that to get into where it needs to be.
Yeah.
I thought you could just rub it on before a football match and you were sorted, but clearly not. You got to do it about a day in advance. Which I had no
That's
idea
weird.
about.
I didn't have no idea about.
So as long as you have the foresight.
I would have used Deep Heat. That's not got ibuprofen in it, though, is it?
It's got nothing in it. It should distract you from the pain of the injury.
The smell of Deep Heat, whenever I smell it, takes me back to changing rooms when I was a young lad.
Tiger Balm. You're a Tiger Balm man. I've got some next to my bed, but I've near cause to use it.
My ex-girlfriend used to rub Tiger Balm on her temples all the time before sleep, probably because she was in a relationship with me.
That trying to pop that vein back into her head.
On the knee replacement thing, you were saying you watched a knee replacement. That sounds pretty interesting, actually.
Well, it's just kind of like the way that they sort of clamp the drill to the front of the tibia, and then they just sort of use a sort of like saw, one of those kind of, not reciprocating, what would you call it? You call it like the thing that he used to cut plasterboard, a bone saw, to sort of cut, literally this, what would you call it? An oscillating tool. I've literally got one of them, one of the drill bits here, one of those sort of things. You see that? like a little,
yeah.
Sort of fits on stuff.
Yeah.
They chop the top off and then they just get all the fucking equipment basically into the marrow and stuff. Oh, God knows how it takes. Titanium's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. But it's just very complex. It just looks like it's, and they've really got a whack with a big hammer, get it into the bone and stuff. It must absolutely ache.
All kind of surgery like that. If you see it, it looks brutal. Have you ever seen the surgery?
Barbaric.
Well, they don't do it as much now because they've got other techniques. Remember we were talking about when you have like a stent put in your heart, they go up your groin or through your wrist because obviously going through the rib cage
they don't crack open your rib.
Man, have you seen them crack open a rib cage? Goodness me!
I've tried to avoid that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's the sound of it.
Yeah,
it's not.
Absolutely.
I was reading. I read a really good book. Before I move on from these, the one thing, and this is not a sponsorship red thing. I'm not paying me to say this. This is authentically the case. The one thing that's actually really helped my joints has been taking those height supplements. It has made a massive difference.
It just feels like with my sort of desperation with my ailments, I've gone into the sort of Chinese medicine kind of like airy-fairy.
It's not Chinese medicine, is it?
It's all just silly nonsense, isn't it? A lot of it. If it was good, it would be real medicine. But so the supplements work then. I'm very, very surprised.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Have you talked yourself into it?
Someone just recommended them to me, and my knees were quite painful. And so I thought, I might as well just take them. Like, I mean, you get a couple of months free at the start or whatever. And I've been taking them probably 2 months now, and I genuinely have noticed a massive difference. And nothing else has really changed. I haven't lost I've kind of... My weight's kind of plateaued where it's comfortable. I haven't really done anything else. And it's made a huge difference. I'd say one thing that might have helped is the fact that I've got quite good golf fitness now because you walk a lot playing golf up and down hills and stuff. So maybe that's helped a bit, with the muscle, building a bit of muscle or something. But it's made a huge difference. But anyway, I was going to say, I should reach out to Heights, actually, see if they want to sponsor us because it was right in the demographic. I'll guarantee you loads of people will buy Heights after I've just said that.
Because I've got like Sarah listens to a lot of like Happy Place and there's a Dr. Chowdhury and stuff, those kind of things. It's every now and again, like there'll be somebody sort of selling some kind of everyone's obsessed with protein this year. Everyone's just it was matcha lattes and fucking protein and stuff. Yeah, but like protein just seems to be the solution for everyone. It just seems to be the thing to. I think you can have too much protein.
You can definitely. That's what kills cats eventually. You know that.
Really? What? Because they just eat too much.
Because they eat so much protein, the kidneys basically just pack up. It puts a lot. If you eat too much protein, it puts a lot of pressure on your kidneys.
I see. That's interesting. Well, yeah. I just think that there's a lot of like quack science in podcasts. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot of like silly bollocks nonsense that should really be we should really be protected from a bit more, lest we go down the info
Bartlett,
wars.
Man. Bartlett had Graham Hancock on the other day. I mean.
Who's
proper jump the shark stuff?
Hancock. I find it very when Graham Hancock, that's his name. When like that Graham Plattner bloke in America, that great white hope for the Democrats. It took me the longest time to. How'd that go for them?
Yeah.
Shall we ask around? Nah, fuck it.
Yeah.
He's quite handsome.
A friend of mine works in US politics. He calls me quite a lot because he's old fashioned and American and he likes to just talk on the phone. He lives in Washington, and he was like, I'm not going to name him because obviously I don't want to kind of get him in trouble, but like he was saying this Plattner guy. I mean, he said it would have taken me a day to find all this stuff out. A day. He said they were paying research companies hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this work ahead of time because it's a massively important race. Like the Susan Collins main race. They didn't even find the fucking Nazi tattoo. They didn't even find the fucking like the tattoo, the old tweets. That like, what are you paying them for exactly? Yeah, exactly. What value are you getting for that? Anyway, carry on.
What value are you getting for that? Anyway, I didn't realise his name was Graham because Americans refuse to play by the rules.
Have you heard of Americans say the word? Have you heard of Americans say the name Craig before?
Craig.
They say Craig.
Guys, come on.
Craig, it's weird.
We've all got a way of saying this and you can join us. But Graham Hancock.
Yeah.
Hancock.
So Stephen Bartlett had Graham Hancock. Do you know who Graham Hancock is?
I don't think I do, no.
I'm sure we must have talked about him before. He's that guy.
Well, I've clearly forgotten. Let's have a look.
He's that guy who's got the Netflix series because his son is the head of factual at Netflix. And he basically does a load of weird pseudo-archaeology and pseudo-history about...
He's got Where My Hair's Going to Be.
Yeah.
He's got Where My Hair's
I wouldn't say you look dissimilar.
No.
Age notwithstanding.
No.
But the
more of a jaw.
But like Bartlett's on there with him. And he's like, oh yeah. And there's a lot of serious evidence that, an ancient kind of giant civilization built the fucking pyramid. He's just making shit up. And you know what Bartlett's like? He's just like sitting there really thoughtfully going, yeah, that's actually really interesting. It's like, is it interesting or is he just making shit up? You're presenting this as some kind of fucking factual thing. It's bullshit. Like on Rogan the other day, when that ex-Special Forces geezer went on, who's obviously got some kind of mental health issue, and I don't want to be disrespectful about that, but he does about 15 minutes on the fact that like the government are hushing up that there's giants in the Afghan mountains. And at no point is Joe Rogan going, okay, what evidence is there of that? Joe Rogan's just going, wow, man. Whoa, what?
Whoa, there's giants in the Afghan. But I think sometimes, like, but it's like Jesus, isn't it? Like, you can't disprove it, so you just go, oh, yeah, good. There's giants in the Afghan mountains.
It's about proving negatives to an extent, isn't it? But yeah, with the Graham Hancock stuff specifically, loads and loads of
that seems unlikely.
Yeah, loads and loads of archaeologists come out all the time and say this is nonsense. Like he's conclusion hunting. He's basically ignoring other counterfactual evidence. But those guys don't have a Netflix show, so no one fucking finds out about it. Right? It's just presented as fact, and everyone just gets on with it. It's truly a stupid world we live in. It's a cacistocratic world. But anyway, what I was going to say to you was, I'm reading this book at the moment. It's really good. It's really good. It's called "The Dead and Those About to Die," about the American storming of Omaha Beach on D-Day.
Okay, right. Okay, yeah.
And honestly, it is... the whole thing is just totally remarkable. Like how so basically, they totally messed up the planning of it and the initial bombardment and the artillery and stuff to give the guys who stormed the beach a chance. When they rocked up at the beach... nothing had really changed. Like none of the machine gun positions had been taken out or anything. The guys that went from the landing craft onto the beach had 80 pounds of gear on, right? Which is just a ridiculous amount of gear, and they had no plan to evacuate or treat any of the wounded.
That seems like that should be part of the planning.
They planned it for ages, and none of this basic stuff was covered. And what's even worse, right, is they had done 2 amphibious landings before, I think in Sicily and somewhere else. So they had this experience of it, and it got to the point where the medics were having to carry the injured closer to the enemy to get to the bluffs rather than away from the enemy, because there was no rear, because the rear was the sea, and none of the empty landing craft were ordered to take any of the wounded back.
You sort of look at the extraction of Maduro and stuff, and people get very excited about that sort of thing. And obviously Donald Trump, that inspired him to get involved in the shit show that is Iran. But there have been a lot of times, like Omaha Beach is a very good example of they do get away with a lot just from scale, don't they? Just having a lot of people and a lot of stuff. Like pound for pound, they probably lost a lot more people than they fucking needed.
100% they did. And you know what? The other thing was, at one point, one of the generals who came in a few hours after 0 hour or whatever, he was like, and the communication was really tough because all the radio men just got taken out. There was a load
chaos,
of fog and haze because of the weapons being used and stuff.
The spray of blood.
Yeah. And one of the generals finally rocked up on the beach. He was like, "Wow, there's too much fucking stuff here. There's way too much stuff here. What's going on?" And he ordered all the kind of the mechanical units and the kind of vehicles and stuff to just be stopped, to just send more troops. We just need more troops. But people were just basically getting stuck there. It's an amazing story. It's an amazing story of bravery and sacrifice and just scale. The scale of it. If you take into account all the beaches, not just Omaha, but Utah, Gold, Sword, and Juneau, which obviously part American, part British, part Canadian, different code name beaches. The supporting The amount of do you know how many supporting ships there were for the fucking landings? There was 1,500 ships in the channel.
Jeez, how is there enough water, for crying out loud?
I know.
Crazy.
One of the accounts, one of the reports were like, when one of the soldiers who wrote a memoir or whatever got on his ship in, I think it was in, it might have actually been Portsmouth, but it was around there. He was like, it looked like I could walk across the ships to France.
Yeah, that's wild, isn't it? I mean, like you look at how many. I'm just looking at the Wikipedia for Omaha in particular. Like the commanders, there's like 5 American commanders to 1. I realise land does help when it comes to defending, but Dietrich Christ is the solo commander and leader of the force that was sent to that beach on that day.
It's a crazy story. So the book is called "The Dead and Those About to Die." It's a definitive history of the landings at Omaha Beach specifically. Amazing tales of bravery and stuff as well, like people just doing amazing things under such courage under fire, really, particularly the medics. I mean, the medics, obviously they've got big white and red crosses painted on their helmets. Can't do that these days. No. and they're not supposed to be shot at, but obviously you've got some frightened out of his mind 20-year-old Polish conscript on the machine gun who's just fucking like emptying his clip,
blasting away.
Because he's obviously terrified as well. And it's like, what the fuck is this?
Did people kind of were the more well-trained soldiers? Would they be observant of that particular rule at a time?
They're supposed to be. But I think probably like a lot of military plans, it hasn't really survived the first contact with reality. Ultimately, the medics are supposed to be able to do their work unimpinged, and they're supposed to be able to carry wounded back to the rear. Obviously, in this case, there was no rear. But, you've got to look at the fact that, so what happens when a load of the troops get up the bluffs, up the exits towards the fucking inland bit? Well, it's all mined. So, they're trying to carve out paths under fire through these minefields, and people are getting blown up, and then the medics have got to go over there. I mean, the mines, obviously a mine is indiscriminate. It's not going to give a shit, is it? So, I mean, they don't have guns, right? So it's like they can't defend themselves either. So it's amazing. There's some really interesting stories, like really like inspiring stories of like essentially conscientious objectors in Second World War and Vietnam who agreed to be medics because they don't want to fight, and a lot of them win awards for bravery and stuff like that. It's on a slightly different note. There's a really interesting bit in might be Michael Hurst's Dispatches, which is one of the best books about the Vietnam War, where he goes in country and he's with these like troops and patrols and stuff, and the guys who are quite hardened to war, they think of him as just being insane. They're like, "What are you doing out here with like a pen and a notebook? Like, what are you doing? Like, do you want a gun?" And he's like, "No, I don't have a gun. I'm a journalist." They're like, "You don't want a gun?" So he's like,
"I have a gun."
Yeah, so it's a fascinating story. Anyway, the whole thing, I've gone on a bit of a deep dive on it, and that book in particular has been amazing. The detail he's able to get. I mean, that's proper history, by the way. If you're listening, Graham Hancock, fucking actual history where you don't fucking just decide that you'd quite like giants to exist, so you go and find evidence to support it when it doesn't. It's not there.
Could have done with a few giants. One would suggest.
Would have helped them.
Helped them. Would have helped them. Would have helped them.
It definitely helped the Starks at Winterfell when they were fighting against the army of the dead.
Exactly.
In Game of Thrones.
You can't argue with that. You can't argue with that particular performance, one would suggest. All right, then. Let's get out of it. That's our book of the week. What's the name of it again? The Dead and Those About to Die. Basically, because the reason it's called that is because the general who finally turned up, I think it was either General Taylor or General Hubner turned up, and he said, there are only 2 types of people on this beach, the dead and those about to die. Get off this beach. Do not stop. Keep moving. Get off this beach. It's like what my mum said to me at about 4 p.m. during the summer when I was a kid. Get off that beach.
Get off this beach. You are already burnt to a crisp.
Crying out loud. All right then. We'll be back with more Look and Pete Show fun on Monday. Look after yourselves. We'll see you then.